It wasn't until we boarded the plane that I fully realized that we were really going to India in January 2017.
After 20 hours, we finally in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and
Waiting for somebody to pick us up.
waiting for somebody to pick us up, and then the adventure can begin.
So we're in the city now, at our Airbnb host. She's a very kind lady, and yeah, we have a nice apartment with a great rooftop view of the beach.
I think we've come to the right place to buy a bike. So we're gonna go in and see.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Before deciding to purchase, we asked some local mechanics to take an independent look at the bike. We are now at the actual tomb of Saint Thomas, one of the 12 apostles. He is buried here in Chennai, and they built a church around it.
India has been an exercise in patience so far. This morning we were already in the taxi to the dealer, and turns out it's a national holiday and all the shops are closed. Add to that, the whole city is in disarray. The government has recently restricted the Jallikattu festival where they tame the bulls, and the people here don't like it. So they're protesting and the whole city is chaos, so we couldn't move anywhere. The protest is continuing relentlessly. It's crazy, there must be close to 1 million people out here. We have to wait a bit more for the bikes, and the city life was really starting to get to me. The crowds and the noise, and for that I'm really glad I found this beautiful little sanctuary in the middle of the city.
After a hectic and sometimes frustrating week, finally,
Celebration time, we just got the bikes ready to go to our host. There they are, beautiful, luggage fits, everything is perfect. This is our first day of rail riding, and our couchsurfing host and new friend Ankit has agreed to take us to the south.
So this is Krishna's butterball. It is in equilibrium position, it doesn't move. Once a king tried to move it with like 10 elephants, still it was immovable.
our first stop was the utopian community of Auroville.
morning I put up some sunscreen. I guess I was a bit too optimistic because it's been raining all day. We've left Royal Enfield, we're going south.
This place is kind of what do you say, it's the southernmost part of India. Like it is mostly surrounded by sea. Like you will find a lot of coastal areas here.
We ate interesting new things like these delicious fried chili peppers and explored many beautiful temples. We found what seems to be a little piece of paradise at the foot of the Palani Hills, and we can stay at the Double Dutch Resort, which is run by, well, 2 Dutch people. We've been driving in the mountains and it's been really fantastic. We ended our second week surrounded by Israeli hippies in the clouds of Kodaikanal. Traveling by bike means spending a lot of time in small villages, the places in between, and meeting friendly locals.
Now this is a place called Asingapuram in Theni. If we cross this mountain, we can go to Kerala.
We've left Tamil Nadu for Kerala and we are now in the beautiful tea fields around Munnar.
And this is using for green tea. Chopping this leaf, put in the net, under the net they're steaming this leaf for 20 minutes, 25 minutes they're steaming this leaf, and then they take out from the steam, they're playing with sunlight. It's a green tea. And this is using for white tea. White tea.
Station viewpoint at 5 o'clock in the morning. Is it cold to see the sunrise? Yes. Yay. The sense of freedom you get from riding a Royal Enfield through these hills is indescribable.
After Munnar we rode north, back into Tamil Nadu.
So this is Monkey Falls, and right now we are having a very dry spell over here in Tamil Nadu. Like the last year we had very less rain, like 30 to 40% of what we usually have. Usually the water use will fall like a screen, will cover from this end to that end, right?
Then suddenly,
So at my first real accident, I was doing about 70 on the highway, and suddenly there were two guys on a moped in the middle of the road, and I didn't realize they were going so slow until it was too late. So I drove right into them. The bike crashed. We're both a little bit bruised, but we drove to a mechanic, and they're gonna get it fixed. Just 20 kilometers from our destination, the bike breaks down. So now we're waiting. At least the view is nice.
I left my bike at a mechanic, so for the next few days Simon and I shared his bike, while we explored the beautiful Kannur. Turns out my clutch plates were worn out. Luckily they could be replaced rather quickly. Before we left Kannur, our host Prakash showed us his tea factory.
And this tightness can be adjusted this back and forth. This is the oldest bottle factory in India. This concept started here.
We drove through Bandipur Tiger Reserve into Mysore. The next morning, we woke up early for some Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga and went to the beautiful Mysore Palace.
Tonight we're taking the train to Hampi, where there's supposed to be very nice temples. So we were on the train from Mysore to Hampi, and we thought it would be nice to get out one stop earlier. Totally intentional.
And now we're in Bellary Fort, which is also a nice morning hike. We rented some bicycles, the best way to explore Hampi.
Night falls over the temples and rock formations in Hampi. This is truly a special place. After climbing nearly 600 steps, we're now at the Monkey Temple, the supposed birthplace of the monkey god Hanuman. Reluctantly, we took our train back to Mysore, where we had left our bikes.
These men are blessing their vehicle to prepare for a pilgrimage.
Next stop, Madikeri.
So this place, as you can see in the background, it's a falls. It's called Abbey Falls. One of the attractions in Madikeri. One of the attractions. Yeah, Madikeri as a whole, it's known for its pleasant climate throughout the year.
So there we were, happily riding around the Coorg area, when suddenly
a guy was crossing the street, apparently drunk. I was honking, and he was waving his hand, indicating that he saw me, but he kept on walking. So I hit him and went down again, went to the hospital, got some lacerations stitched, and now at the police station. And now there is all this complication with the police. So yeah, I can go home now, but I'm not sure if we're going to get the bikes back.
after some hassle and paying a compromise, I finally got my bike back. We rode up to the temple of Dharmasthala, which was not so interesting for an outsider, but we really enjoyed the lunch. After that, we went to Karkala, where a new host showed us the Jain temples.
Around 500-year-old temple, huge pillars. We are at the top of Gomatabetta. It's where the statue of Lord Bahubali. It's a 42 feet height monolithic statue constructed around 1432 AD. It's a Jain pilgrimage center where every 12 years we have a Mahamastaka Abhisheka.
Then we were shown his farm and went to bed early because the next morning
we got invited to an Indian wedding. Hundreds of people were there, plus an endless supply of very tasty food. The traffic rules are different in India, and some improvisation is often required. Everywhere we went, people were curious to find out what those two white guys with their heavily packed bikes were up to.
I decided to stop and take a break from riding. I stayed a week in Gokarna, a beautiful beach town just south of Goa. Time went up ahead because he doesn't like the beach so much. These days I just relaxed at the beach. Did some yoga, and beach, and yoga. Time had some troubles with his bike, but after that was fixed, we could finally go and explore Goa.
You can clearly see by the architecture that Goa is a former Portuguese colony.
We are in Margao, where Shiva Ratri is being celebrated. It is the marriage of Shiva, and to celebrate, they have to chant this 1,000 times.
The Portuguese brought another thing to Goa.
This morning we were surfing. It was really exhausting, but very nice. But that was fun.
You both look very happy, tight and happy.
We were invited to stay in an ashram near Kolhapur for a few days.
I can show you how we make fertilizer by Indian cow dung, cow urine. You do this.
There's Arjuna.
This ashram had an organic farm, a lot of cows, and a school.
In Patan, we were hosted in a rural hospital.
is Mahabaleshwar, another hill station. It's popular for its amazing views. Now, after about an hour hike upwards, the views here are stunning and the fort itself looks really great.
We had a really fun time in Pen with a bunch of amazing new friends.
You can say braids, Indian bread. So they are making exactly circular in shape.
This Game of Thrones-like location is the Karnala Bird Sanctuary and Fort. Mumbai is crowded and hot, as expected. I service my bike and we take in the sights.
We are now visiting the old part of town, the gateway of India. It's nice, but it's very chaotic.
It was also Timon's final stop, as his India journey would end in Mumbai.
Okay, so with Timon flying home, my new travel buddy Adi has arrived, and we're going north to Gujarat.
Gujarat has many beautiful Jain temples and delicious food.
The last few days we've just been riding highway in Gujarat, which is, to be honest, quite boring. But we've arrived now in Ahmedabad and we're gonna stay a few days and celebrate Holi with one of Adi's friends.
The Holi celebration was crazy. No one parties like the Indians do.
The road went north after that, to the beautiful historical town of Sitpur. I meet up with Adi, Eugene and Kashish in Mount Abu. Udaipur is a gorgeous lake city.
This beautiful place is the city palace in Udaipur. The Rajasthani still use the ox-powered irrigation system. This is Kumbhagarh Fort. It's very impressive. It's very big. It has a 38-kilometer long wall. It's the second longest wall in the world. So eat your heart out, Trump.
We arrive in Jodhpur, make a new friend, and we ride up to a vantage point to see the Blue City. After that, we took a train to the desert city of Jaisalmer, with its golden fort. We also went into the desert for a few days, riding camels and sleeping under the stars. The train took us back to Jodhpur, where we spent another couple of days mostly ogling the gorgeous furnitures and antiques. I even got to see one of the furniture factories. We got back on the bikes, and we rode to the holy city of Pushkar.
Next stop, Jaipur, the Pink City.
Summer fort in Jaipur is magnificent.
These are stepped water wells, typical for northern India. We go back to nature in Sariska National Park. These guys lived right next to our lodge. That I separated from the group to visit
Vrindavan, the place where Lord Krishna grew up. Today it is home to more than 5,000 temples, most of them dedicated to Krishna. There she is, Taj Mahal.
I rode up to New Delhi and met up again with my friends.
My last stop is Varanasi, one of the oldest cities in the world and the most sacred place in India. It's situated on the holy river Ganges.
This is the traditional way to make lassi, a type of very tasty yogurt drink.
'In the evening, thousands of people gather for the Aarti, a prayer with lots of fire, incense, bells and chanting.
Sarnath is where the Buddha gave his first sermon after gaining enlightenment. Today these big ancient structures remain, called stupas.
Three months went by very quickly, and I was sad to leave India. So I said my goodbyes and I got ready for the long flight home.